guys, J.A. Graves, physical therapist, strength coach here to talk to you on another exciting Mobility Monday. Today we're going to talk about inner thigh tightness and some strategies that you can use to improve tightness in this area. Check this out. All right guys, today we are going to talk about some strategies that you can use to improve inner thigh tightness. Now first I want to talk a little bit about why this is important. So if you're a recreational athlete or somebody who lifts weights, this is very, very important to have mobility in the inner thigh. And here's why. Every time you squat down or hinge like you're doing a deadlift, it puts tension through those muscles of the inner thigh. And if you have too much tension in that area, it's going to significantly limit your ability to perform those movements. Why is that a bad thing? Well, if your inner thigh muscles can't properly extend and allow you to get the mobility that you need, you're likely going to compensate someplace else. And most of the time, that compensation happens in the lower back, okay? So when we talk about the muscles of the inner thigh, we're talking about the adductor muscles, okay? And they're big and they're strong, and most people don't work them out nearly enough, but in a lot of people, they're just really, really tight and limited in their ability to move. So this exercise is going to couple movement that's significant to what you're trying to do. So again, if you're trying to squat or do a deadlift, as well as mobility of that inner thigh muscle group, okay? So we call this a half kneeling adductor hinge. Now the setup is going to be like so, okay? So you're going to put one leg out to the side as far as you comfortably can, okay? So in this particular instance, I'm kneeling on my right knee on a pad here just to keep my knee comfortable, and my left leg is out to the side. Now you have a couple options. You can put your foot down like mine is, or you can prop it up. Whatever's more comfortable, it's really not going to change the stretch too much, okay? Now, a couple things you want to do before you actually perform this exercise. You want to make sure that you stay fairly tight through your midsection. Now, the reason I say this is that if you're already tight in your inner thigh and maybe tight in your right leg in this instance, you might compensate and move through your lower back, and if you have lower back pain, this might not feel good. But if you put a little bit of tension through your stomach here, that will help give you more mobility and keep your spine protected so you're not running the risk of hurting it. Even though this is a pretty low-level drill, it just might make your lower back cranky if you don't do it correctly. Okay? So one of the cues that I like to give people before they do this is to quickly sniff, like you're smelling something. When you do that, your abdominals will contract. Okay? So you want to sniff and maintain that tightness through your abdominals and then perform the exercise. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to sniff, and then from here, you're going to rock your hips back towards the heel of your right foot. Now, you can put your hands out and do it like this. You can put your hands on your hips, or you can put your hands down on the ground in front of you if your balance isn't very good and you just want to make sure you're getting the most out of this stretch, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate it with my hands on the ground here. Now, I find that I'm able to get a little bit more of a stretch when I put my hands down, because then I'm not worried about my balance or stability. But again, you can perform it with your hands on the ground or your hands really anywhere you want. The other way that I prefer is what I showed just a minute ago, is arms out in front. So here, okay. Now, what you can expect to feel with this particular exercise is a stretch on the inner part of your thigh, okay? And you might feel a stretch in your backside, okay, in your butt. You really shouldn't have any pain with this. Again, this is really just meant to stretch these muscles out. This is a great exercise that can be used before you work out to help get you prepared for what it is that you're about to do. The other thing too is that if you do this regularly, you'll see that you get some longer term benefit, and those inner thigh muscles will stay relatively loose, so they're not a problem for you in the future, okay? So give the half kneeling adductor hinge or half kneeling adductor stretch a try, and hopefully this works out well for you. Thanks so much for tuning in to Mobility Monday, and we will see you next week.